Yes, we're finally talking about Sonic Movie 4 again, and it's a big update. What's up everyone, it's me SpeedSuperSonic bringing you guys another video. In this video today, yes, we are finally talking about Sonic Movie 4. Not only do we actually have news, but this is our first time talking about it in forever. We haven't had a video on the channel with Sonic Movie 4 in the title in over 2 months. And for those of you who watch this channel consistently, which if you don't, make sure that you subscribe and stay tuned to the channel. We are the best in the nation. That is an astronomically long time for us to not talk about an upcoming Sonic movie. But we finally have news thanks to reliable Sonic movie insider Daniel RPK. Daniel RPK is more than just a Sonic movie insider. He talks about all different kinds of movies, but he's been very reliable in terms of the Sonic news that we've gotten. He got so much right in regards to Sonic Movie 3. I think he broke a lot of the news about Shadow and his involvement in that movie, as well as Kristen Ritter and her being cast in the film as well. That was not something known at all. This is a reliable source, but of course, when it is not coming from Paramount themselves, you gotta take a grain of salt. But what are we talking about? Well, I'm talking about Sonic Movie 4, Sonic Movie 4, Sonic Movie 4, but it might not actually end up being called that. Let's discuss, because Daniel RPK says that Paramount is heavily considering renaming Sonic Movie 4 to exclude the 4 and go with the subtitle, one that they're looking at right now being Sonic CD. It should be noted that this is not the final title, what it will end up being, but it is one of the options being floated right now. Of course, Sonic Movie 4 is shaping up to be a Sonic CD inspired movie in the same way 3 was inspired by Adventure 2. So for all those complaining that they did adventure characters before they got to CD, you're getting it now, as of course we're having Amy and Metal Sonic pop up in this upcoming movie. We don't know how much Movie 4 is going to be like the story of CD as we saw with 3. There's elements of the Adventure 2 story in there, but it was very much so its own thing in places. I think we can expect the same from 4. We'll see if they choose to go the time travel route. Maybe they'll go dimensional. We'll see. Sonic likes to toy with going back and forth between dimensions and time travel. It's honestly just a matter of waiting to see. But based off of some concept art, I do think that there's various routes they could go with it. We'll see, but clearly CD, if this is one of the titles that they're looking at, reportedly shows that they're going to be taking a lot of inspiration from this movie. Now, 2 things. First, I don't think that they are going to end up calling this movie Sonic CD. I don't think that's a very approachable title. I think it's very confusing. The word CD suggests, like a CD player. It's not something that's necessarily going to get you hyped. I think if you were going to have between the 2 subtitles 4 and CD, as a Sonic fan, obviously think CD is cooler, but I think 4 for the general audience, if you're trying to sell a movie, would be smarter. And the second thing I want to mention is that I do think that this movie actually will end up not being called Sonic Movie 4. I think you've reached kind of the point where you already have Sonic, Sonic 2, and Sonic 3, so you have your numbers. Once when you start getting into the 4 territory, like 4, 5, especially 6, you're almost making the movies a little inaccessible to general audiences because it's like, oh, there are now 3 other movies I have to watch before this. Sonic 3 made it more approachable. That's a whole trilogy. It's not too much homework to do. But once when you start getting into the 4s, that's when you have to start making a shift. So I do think Sonic 4, which is what we're going to continue to call it, will have a subtitle of some sort. I think the movie will be called Sonic the Hedgehog Race Against the Universe or something like that. I'm not saying that's obviously what it's going to be, but I think you guys get my point. It will have some kind of random subtitle that will be cool and action-packed and have some kind of ominous tone to the film. Kind of think Paramount's other franchise Transformers. They had Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction, all of that stuff. Or even their other franchise Mission Impossible. They have these subtitles and it makes it to where it doesn't seem like it's just this TV show almost where it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and you have all of these different movies to do. You can jump in at this point if you wish without having to watch 1, 2, and 3. So I do not doubt at all that Paramount is considering changing the title of Sonic 4 to something with a subtitle. CD being one of those is interesting, but like I said, I don't think that is a good marketing move. I don't think that Paramount is even strongly considering it. I think that it is an option for sure, but I don't think that that is what they're going to end up going against. If they choose to play with time travel, I could see them having, something to do with future in the title or future past. Sonic Days of Future Past. Or if they choose to go the dimensional route, they can definitely play into the verse of things. I do not think that they're going to do multiverse. I do not think that we are going to see see multiple Sonics or Tails or Shadows or something like that. But boy, would that do really good on a poster. So I do believe Daniel RBK. I think that this is true. I do not think that this ultimately will end up being the name of the movie though. It would be fun, you know, as a Sonic fan, but I think that it's going to hurt your movie a little bit. It's almost like a Wii U situation. I know movies and video game consoles are very different, but also when you're trying to sell something, not so much. You know, when the Wii U came out, that just screams, oh, this is an add-on tablet for the Wii, right? A lot of people did not know that was an entirely new console. You have something come out called Sonic the Hedgehog CD, they're like, what the f does CD mean? Remember, Sonic CD was called Sonic CD because it was the first Sonic game on a CD. It would make no sense for a movie to be called that, but regardless, it's an interesting thing to discuss. In fact, I'm sure if any of you loyal viewers want to do the homework, I think we've probably talked about this in the past of them going in the direction of calling these movies something different and going with subtitles. I was fine with them going forward with 4 if they think that's the best move and what they wanted to do. I was like, cool, but at the back of my head I always thought, wow, I'm kind of surprised they're not calling this something different. But at the same time, when they announced this movie and you know, showed the logo and all of that stuff and we're like, hey, we're making this, I don't think you can throw all of your cards on the table yet of this is what the movie will be called, because they haven't really figured out what the movie will be yet. I think that Jeff Fowler and the writers knew we're probably going to go down the Metal Sonic Amy route for the next movie, and we'll figure out the story itself from there once when we get a green light for a 4th movie. Now that they have that, the movie's in development, we know that, obviously it has to be, the movie is not that far away. Guys, let me just say this is almost crazy to say right now. We're just a little over a year away from this movie coming out. That might sound crazy, but when you think about it, we are at the very tail end of 2025 now, and once when 2026 comes, Sonic Movie 4 comes out in March of the following year in 2027. We're not far away from this movie. It is not going to be that long until we have a trailer for this thing. They're going to be filming this thing very soon. I do not think this year. I think probably early next year, very early next year. Not only will they start filming, but we'll get a lot of info in regards to it. That will include casting news. I'm not sure if we'll get the voice announcement yet. I think that will probably come around summerish time. When I say voice, I'm obviously speaking about Amy. There's just still so much that the movie needed to learn about itself before they gave us the title for the movie, because if they were to announce the movie as Sonic Race Against Time, and then they start making the movie and they're like, maybe we want to go the dimensional route instead of time, they'd have to change it and it would create more confusion already than changing it from 4 to a subtitle. If you guys are longtime viewers of the channel and have kept up with our coverage of the pre-releases of Sonic Movie 2 and 3, Paramount does drop their title announcements. It's probably going to be a bit until we get that, but I'm sure we will get the same for 4. I think we got our title announcement for Movie 3 in January of 2024, so that's basically an entire year between that title announcement and Sonic Movie 3's release date. I would not be shocked at all if in March or even earlier than that next year we'll get a title announcement for Sonic Movie 4 confirming a title change. And best believe once when that happens, we'll be here to talk about it, but I believe that we'll also be getting a lot more news before that comes out as well. They gotta start confirming where they're gonna be filming at for this movie. Of course, it's a live action CGI hybrid, so they're going to be doing a lot of things on location. We're gonna be getting confirmation on actors that are going to be returning to this movie. Is Jim Carrey coming back? That is a big topic that is for another video, but I figured I'd mention it here. There's still a lot more they have to figure out, I think, before they settle on a new title for the movie. But to sum it all up, yes, I do think Sonic Movie 4's title will be changed to something with a subtitle. I do not, however, think it will be this rumored Sonic CD title that Paramount is toying with. It would be cool for Sonic fans, but I think almost all of us can acknowledge that I think going another option like the ones I suggested is probably the best route to go down. I don't know, maybe my ego is talking and I'm thinking I'm smarter than I am. But you guys let me know in the comments what you guys think about this, and also what you would change the name of Sonic Movie 4 to, or would you not change it at all? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you guys have to say. Feel free to follow my social media links to my Twitter and Instagram in the description below. You can follow those events to see my life, future content, and all things Sonic the Hedgehog. But most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure that you're subscribed. This is the #1 destination on YouTube for all things Sonic. Whether it's video games, TV shows, movies, comic books, merchandise, and more, we talk about it all. Hold on. I'm gonna interject real quick because I'd like to thank Figgies for once again sponsoring this video. If you guys aren't aware, we've been covering Figgies for a while now with their awesome new line of Sonic the Hedgehog collectibles. We looked over their first wave of classic and modern characters, but Figgies keeps pumping these things out because now we have wave 2, so let's take a look at who we got. First up, we have Sonic the Hedgehog himself, Amy Rose, Super Sonic, and last but not least, Dr. Eggman. These are absolutely amazing. I love the uniqueness of their designs. They're just as good as the previous waves. And if you want to get your hands on the newest wave of Figgies, as well as saving some money, click my link in the description below and use my code to save 5% on your Figgies order. Thank you once again to Figgies for sponsoring this video. We have so many videos in the works, guys. I've been cooking in the kitchen for you guys. I love all of you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
And be right by the motherfucking seaside, dog. Everything I see, I got a dream. I thought these leaves would go and take me out the dark. I know everything I wanted to find.